Hello guys, how are you doing? Without any intro, I just want to get to the point. So, today I want to share the story of mine. How did I learn English within just 3 months? How I learned English within 3 months. Is it impossible to learn a new language within 3 months? Yeah, surely not. So, I'm gonna tell you. Before that, there are things you should know about. So, how I just fell in love with English. First of all, you should be obsessed with English language, then you can learn it very fast. How? The day that I learned what English exactly is, when I was 6 years old or maybe 7 years old, okay, my older siblings used to help me out to learn some basics of English language, like colors or maybe numbers or maybe weekdays, okay? At that moment, I realized there is something else which is called English language, except the language that I'm speaking in my daily life with my family, with friends, in school, outside, wherever, okay? So that was the first step of mine that I realized there is another language which is called English. You know, the old-fashioned system, I mean, previous system of education was like that. When you got to fifth grade, at that moment you started, or taking English classes. But fortunately, the existing system is totally different, and you can just take classes when you just step into the school. Okay, great. And when I got to fifth grade, I had a friend. Sorry, let me phrase it correctly. I still have that friend because he's one of my besties. His name is Carmen. Yeah, and he just graduated from, School of Arts, I think, English department, yeah. At that moment, we were just kids and you used to challenge each other. How? For example, we had a teacher, her name was Miss Martin, I think, yeah. He used to pick up us, and we were counting down how many times the teacher will pick us up. During the class. Okay. For example, today, Miss Martin just picked me up 10 times. We used to challenge each other. We were writing down the number of participation. For example, pick my friend up about 15 times. So mine was about 10. So he just won it, and he was the winner of the day. We were challenging each other like this because we both loved English, okay? So, when I got to 12th grade, the disaster started at that moment when I got to 12th grade. Actually, you know, I told you I loved English, but for 2 years, I just quit learning English. How? We had a teacher, his name was, I'm not gonna mention his name, okay? God forgive him. But he made me to be disappointed for 2 years. I didn't study, I didn't care about English language for 2 years. Okay? That was a disaster for me. Finally, I just stayed in 12th grade for 3 years. I failed in 12th grade for 2 years. 2 years, okay? You know, I had a critical psychological situation at that moment. That's why I just failed for 2 years. Unfortunately, finally I passed and I just got to translation department. I was accepted in translation department in Doha University. And you think that I could speak English? You think I was good at speaking at that moment? No, believe me, I didn't know anything about English. About speaking. Yeah. I had a background about English language and I knew some basics maybe, but about speaking, I was just zero. My level was nothing at that moment. I still, you know, when I just remember that moment, I say, oh my God, how did I just apply for translation department? Because I didn't know anything about English, okay? Even we had a lecturer. Her name was Professor Alia, okay? Professor Alia, once she just came to the class and believe me, she just started crying. She grieved at us. How? She said, what are you doing here? What's your intention? What do you want to be in the future? You're translators, you will be interpreters, okay? Maybe how you're gonna work with the council, for example, okay? With an ambassador. So translation department, I mean, your levels should be higher even than the rest of the other English departments. So I never forget that moment because, you know, I myself, I just ashamed of myself, okay? And even though I didn't know anything, I couldn't make a simple sentence in English language, and that was a disaster. So what did I do? The last day, when I just took final exam, I mean, I finished first stage at university at my college, okay? I went to Jazeera bookstore in Duhok. I went to city center, okay? And I went to Jazeera bookstore and I bought some books. And the books were English idioms in use, English vocabularies in use, English phrasal verbs in use, English collocations in use, and I don't remember the other one, okay? I bought, I think, 5 books, okay? I went home. I started reading them. I started practicing them. I followed the instructions of the books, okay? But it didn't work well. Because, yeah, I knew the information about them, you know? But I couldn't speak English at that moment. I thought it's the wrong way, so what can I do for that? I was just thinking about a right way. What's the right way? And yeah, I finally thought there should be something else. And I found my way, which was speaking to people, speaking English. Put what's in your mind on your tongue, okay? Whatever is included in your mind, just put it on your tongue. If you did that, you'll be able to speak in English very well. But if not, the process of learning of yours will be delayed, okay? You're gonna learn English lately. So, I started creating a Skype account and I started searching, okay, for people learning English, how to speak in English, okay? I just typed so many, titles to find some groups, and fortunately I found so many groups on Skype, okay? There were people just like me who just wanted to learn English, okay? And the good point was, for each group there was a leader, okay? Who, for example, who was responsible for like setting the time and the meeting and the conferences as well, okay? The leader was just pointing or determined a topic, for example, about friendship. And he was just writing down 10 questions about that topic. And he said, for example, on Saturday at 9 p.m., we will all speak here and you will be having 2 minutes to talk about the topic as an intro, okay? And you're gonna answer the questions, the written questions, okay? You should answer them one by one. It was really fantastic at that moment, you know? And even though I made some friends there, I even remember once I spoke to one of the friends of mine for 4 hours without eating something, without drinking something, without even standing up in my place, okay? I just sat my ass down and I didn't pick it up. I didn't stand up. I just spoke to him for 4 hours, okay? Because I was in love with English. I wanted to learn. I intended to learn, okay? So, and nothing could stop me. If you just be keen on learning English like that, you're gonna take so many different steps, you will learn English so easily, believe me. So we said, learning language like that, speaking to people, talking to people, maybe, directly, face to face, or online, or however, just try to speak. The most important point here is, if you can speak to people, please do not feel shy. Don't afraid of making mistakes. If you're just afraid of making mistakes, okay, so you're not gonna learn. You know, even in Kurdish language, we sometimes, for example, make mistakes. It's something normal, It is something normal, okay? And we are all learners of, foreign language, so it's okay for us to make mistakes, okay? And the second step that I just took, which was watching movies. If you know how to watch a movie, believe me, you're gonna learn so many things from it. I used to have a notebook and watching movies with its subtitles, okay? I was just pausing the videos, the movies, because I wanted to learn, not just enjoying it, okay? If you want to learn from movies, do not, complete or finish watching it within an hour and a half, because you should stop it, you should pause it, you should think about it, why he just said that, why the actor or the actress is speaking like that, okay? You have to repeat after the actor or the actress. Without repeating after them, you're not gonna learn, believe me. So that's the point. If you want to learn, you should repeat after each actor, your favorite actor, you know, because we are all impressed by one of the actors during watching movies, okay? Pause it and try to have a dictionary. If there's, for example, a vague word, a difficult word that which you don't know the meaning of it, okay? Try to look for it, in dictionary, look it up, okay? And find the synonyms, find the antonyms of that word, okay? Try to write them down on your palm. This is a good way, believe me, because you're not gonna forget it, okay? So that's it. And finally, try to use these words, these words that you have already learned from the movie in different contexts, in different places, in different situations, okay? And another way that I just learned English, which was talking to yourself. Are you insane? Are you crazy? Yeah, you gotta be crazy for learning English. You should be crazy about learning English. Then you'll get master in it, okay? So I use, for example, even sometimes, for example, a new word like vague, okay? Vague. I used to write down in the air, believe me. Vague, V-A, okay? G, or maybe U-E, like that, okay? Because I loved it, I wanted to learn, okay? I took every single different step just to achieve that goal of, for example, of my dreams, okay? And finally, talk to yourself in front of mirror. Yeah, I remember I sometimes, for example, I used to practice like this. I was just standing in front of mirror, okay? I was Kosret number 1 and the mirror was Kosret number 2. So I was just asking him and he was just answering my questions. So this is a good way to practice your English. There is no one or nothing to feel shy about. Okay? Yeah, maybe if there are other people, maybe you will, for example, feel shy because you say, oh, I'm gonna make some mistakes. Okay, it's okay. But if there is a mirror and in an empty room, there is no one else except you and your ghost, okay? Then you can just speak to yourself. It's a good way, okay? And I hope you have already got benefit from the video because each one of us, we have our own different stories about learning English. There are, plenty of different other ways that I just took. But the first thing was I didn't feel shy about making mistakes, okay? Secondly, I spoke to everyone, to myself, to the mirror, to other people, foreign people from Algeria, from Tunisia, from Morocco, from Russia, from everywhere around the world. I was just making friends, okay? So you can just make friends except Kurdish people, because if you're stuck somewhere, you're just gonna exchange it, you're gonna use Kurdish. Try to find some friends who are not Kurdish, okay? Then you have to, for example, accelerate your brain, and you're gonna force your brain to find some new words, or maybe the words that you have already forgotten it, okay? Then you can just speak with people. You should find a way, okay? But with Kurdish people, you're gonna use Kurdish suddenly. As I told you before, when I was at first stage at university, I didn't know even how to make a sentence in English. But during the summer season, within just 3 months, when I just went back to college at second stage, okay, suddenly, as I told you before, there was a lecturer, her name was Professor Alia, and there was an argument between her and, my colleagues, okay, and I just started talking to her in English, and I just, for example, told her my opinion about the matter, okay. After finishing the argument and the lecturer, he just called me. She called me, she said, Kosret, how did you get to that point? Last year, when you were at first stage, you weren't be able even to make a simple sentence in English. How did you do that? I narrated the story to her, and she was really happy about it, actually, okay? And suddenly, after maybe 2 or 3 weeks, she just called me again, and he said, Kosret, what's your dream? What do you want to be in the future? Tell me. I simply said, Professor, I just want to be, a lecturer in university. I want to get PhD. She said, okay, tomorrow you're gonna teach your colleagues instead of me. You'll be a lecturer in university. I said, oh my God, how can I do that? She said, I put trust in you. Don't forget that. I put trust in you. You should do that. You have got only 24 hours, sorry. I said, Professor, I cannot do that. It's really difficult for me. It's the first time I just present a presentation. She said, I put trust in you. So what are you gonna do? I said, okay, I'll try to do my best. And when, for example, tomorrow just came and I went to her, I said, Professor, I cannot make it, believe me, because it's really hard for me. She said, just talk to us for 10 minutes, not more, okay? Have you made preparation about the seminar, about the presentation? I said, yes, but I'm not confident enough. She said, just talk to us for 10 minutes, not more. I said, okay. You know, when I just started, lecturing, instead of her, it was about reading and writing skills, okay, in English language. And I covered, the whole lecture for 1 hour. So you see, if you just try and force yourself, okay, in some ways, you will find what's in your inner, what is hidden in your inner, okay? And I will let you to see, my level and how I terribly spoke in English at that moment, okay? Because one of my friends just recorded the video at that time, okay? So here it is, just enjoy it.
Yes, the previous lecture, the Professor Ali talked to you about speaking and listening and writing. Today I will teach you reading. There's a lot of components and elements that regard you or lead you to be better when you're reading something. Let me tell you the greatest or the biggest problem with our students. Yes, Yes, I was saying that the problem with our students, they read texts, but they don't know how to understand it, how to get benefit from this texts. Today I will lead you to get that done reading. Just concentrate. Yes, I'll come with the components of reading. Before everything, we have to choose a good subject that suits us. You are students at college. You are students at college, and you should think about the text that you are reading. what suits you. Don't go and read a technological text. Don't go to read about something that you haven't heard before.
And why not benefiting from young abilities? I'm here sitting with you, listening to them. You know, after all these years in teaching, I may benefit from Kosret as well. Because in English they say two heads are better than one. You may come up with something which I didn't know about before. And it may sparkle an idea in my mind on how to teach in future, probably introduce something good. So I'm not giving him the chance. So please don't laugh, take things seriously, and let's proceed with our lesson. We don't have time to waste. Okay?
And I will let you know I have enough authority to decrease your marks, so you should be behavior. And I mean Dara as well. Okay, Dara? Got it? Okay. The second one is consider the place that you are reading in. Now you are in the class, and the most quiet place is in the class. There is no crowd, there is no noise, and you can be concentrated on your reading. There is a good area, a good environment. Be serious and concentrate when you read something.
Yeah, as you just watched it, so that was, the short video that I just spoke to my friends. I just gave the presentation, okay? I know I was just terribly speaking in English at that moment, but it was my first time, and I'm really proud of it, because maybe there are many mistakes, okay? So great. So as I told you, the biggest point here is, the most important point here is only to have confidence. You gotta be confident, okay? And try to do your best, and try to find what is hidden in your in your mind, okay? If you just find your abilities, you'll easily be able to build it up, okay? So until the next video, maybe another story, good luck. Have a good day.